and I have incorporated it into what I do. So I do not take credit for any of this material. And as we go through, I will be giving you, if you want to learn more on these topics, I'm going to tell you who I learned it from. There's a couple books that are amazing on LinkedIn. One woman in particular updates her ebook all about connecting with people on LinkedIn once a year so that you have the right screenshots and how-tos in this book. So I love learning from people who give you how-tos and to-do lists and checklists. So everybody that's here live tonight, all you have to do is put your email address in the chat and I will email you my checklist and my to-do list for LinkedIn. And that's all you'll get from me is just your bonuses for being here live tonight. So put your email in the chat and we're gonna jump right in. So first of all, let me get a quick poll from you guys. I am going to actually ask you a question and how many of you are using LinkedIn currently? All right, and the poll's not working. Okay, well, let me just get a show of hands.
What do you mean by using? Like, do you mean you're on it or you mean like actively using?
Actively using. So just go ahead and put a little, where do we raise our hand? I wanted to do a poll, but it didn't seem to be working. If you have a little raise your hand button down at the bottom,
put a one just in the chat.
I don't know. Zoom just changed all of their little settings down at the bottom, so I don't see raise hand. So don't worry about it. Just wave if you're on LinkedIn and you're using it. All right. So I'm going to show you the tricks tonight that are going to take your profile to the next level and get you noticed even more. Oh, Janica says raise hand is in the bottom right on her phone. That's entirely possible. All right, I'm going to screen share and I'm going to bring up my LinkedIn profile, and that's how we're going to go through the rest of this training. Okay, so here we are on my LinkedIn profile. I am a premium member. I do that because I use a feature that we're going to talk about in a little bit. And for any of you who are coaches or consultants, this added feature might be the missing link for you guys getting corporate jobs. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. And that's why I'm a premium member. So as you can see right off the bat, I have a really clean header image. And here's what's recommended for header images. If you are a speaker, a coach, or a consultant, and you have a picture of yourself in front of a large audience, awesome. The least amount of words to get your message across, the better, and a lighter color picture. So you don't want anything too dark or too heavy. Also, for your profile image, you absolutely must have a profile image, and preferably just a shot from your shoulders up, a clear view of your face straight on the camera with a white or a light colored background. So you can see how I meet all of those requirements. And the top 10 things are right here in this top portion of your profile. So you can see here's my name and I have these cute little stars here. So if you edit your profile on your phone, not on your desktop, on your phone, you can add little emojis before and after your name. So I wouldn't recommend a heart. I like the star, maybe an exclamation point, something that fits your brand, like a flower could work. For Michael, maybe an eagle would work, you know, on the wingman's path. But it's not necessary. It just makes that profile stand out a little bit. And if you're on my profile, ooh, look up here on the browser tab, those stars show up again. So kind of cool, kind of distinctive. When I send somebody a message, it also shows up. So that's even cooler. All right. Next thing we're going to dive into is keywords on LinkedIn. Who knew that keywords were important? But yes, they are. So keywords, you want to put as many of them in your title that you can. So when you click on this little edit button, I'm going to show you what happens. You have your headline. So in this headline area, you're going to put everything that you do. Life coach, executive coach, optimized living coach, speaker, author, workshop facilitator, and business mentor. You don't have to go crazy and add 100 of them, but add all the things that you do. So if you're a coach and you sell a network marketing product and you do something else, make sure that all of those things are listed there. These are the things, these are the keywords that people are going to use to search when they're looking for somebody like you. So you want that to come up. Okay, when we go down, make sure that your town is there. And if you have more than 500 connections, it says 500 plus connections. If you have less than 500, it's going to say the exact number of your connections. So here's what all the experts recommend, not just me. Get 500 connections so that this says 500 plus. All right. Any questions so far? Just unmute yourself and ask away if you have any questions so far. Nope? Okay. So moving on to the contact info. When anybody is searching LinkedIn for you, or when you're searching for someone else, if you click on that little button right here, contact info, when you click on that, this brings up the link to your profile. Hopefully your company website is listed there. So check yours right now. Check on yours and see what comes up. I want all your information, your website, my Instagram comes up, my other company website, my phone number, my office address, my email, and my Twitter handle. So I have every box filled out so that people can contact me. So check yours, and if only your email is showing up or only your LinkedIn profile is showing up, that means that where we're moving down to is not filled out properly. Okay, we're going to move on to the next section, the About section. Now right here, this is your chance to give a summary of who you are and what you do with as many keywords. Again, keywords as to what you do. Are you a coach? Are you a mentor? Are you selling anti-aging skincare? Are you a wingman? Are you a weight loss specialist? Are you a wellness specialist? All of those keywords need to be in your summary, and preferably in the third person, like someone wrote this about you. Okay, so it should be 2-3 paragraphs. And I also want to stress to put in all of your education in this summary. Now, granted, once we move down, your education is going to be down there at the bottom, but I think you should list it in your summary as well. And there's different schools of thought on this. And that's because, again, of keywords. So I have every certification I have ever had and all of my years experience listed there, and then my email address, how to connect with me. The next section down, you can add some media to your website, to your profile. So you can add pages on your website, and you can add up to 3 or 4. You can also add a slide deck presentation, or maybe a PDF of a proposal on how to work with you. Anything that you want can be linked right here. Okay. Now, moving down to this little dashboard. Now, I'm only the one seeing this, so you'll be seeing yours. And this basically just gives you a little inside information. How many people viewed my article today, how many search appearances I came up in, and how many people have viewed my profile. So you can see, compare to your numbers, compare how many people have viewed your profile to how many people have viewed my profile recently, and are you really doing enough on LinkedIn to get your profile looked at? So the ideal number of people viewing your profile depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for clients on LinkedIn or contacts, corporate clients, you want that number to be up around 500 to start getting a return on that. Meaning if 500 people view, at least 5 or 6 would be interested in booking a call with you. The next section down is articles and activities. So if you've never posted on LinkedIn, nothing's going to show up here. This is going to show how many followers you have. I can actually manage my followers right here, and I can like my own articles, and this is everything that I've commented or shared on. So you can check right in on your activity on LinkedIn. Okay, now here, the next part is the really important part. This is your work experience, and this part should kind of read like a resume. So if you don't have a current resume, or if you do and you just haven't updated it in a while, this is where you're going to do that. And I'm going to give you some tips on actually the things I have to do that I just learned recently to update this a little bit. So let's go into whatever you have first. Click on the little pencil. And what we want to do here is expand on this description. Expand to what I actually have been doing since January of 05. So everything from personal training, nutritional counseling, one-on-one coaching, corporate workshops. I'm going to list all of those things in that description. And then here's a link right to my website again. So if you do update this, you can share it with your network and let everybody know that you've updated that. As we go down, you can see you're going to fill in all of your work experience, and then goes on to education. So anywhere you went to school, anywhere you have a certification from, anywhere you took a class from should be on LinkedIn. If they're not, you can just type them in. Any licenses or certifications, volunteer experience, and now here's the really good part. Skills and endorsements. This is where other people have given me endorsements on a skill. You actually get to pick all of your skills. So if you don't have any in there, get in there and pick your skills. And then you can begin to either ask for endorsements, or you can start endorsing other people, and they will do the same in return. So here's all of my skills that I have listed, and you can see how many endorsements. So any of my nutrition clients that were on LinkedIn, I asked them to endorse me. And that really helps with the ranking and the Google searching of your profile. So the more endorsements you have, the better. And actual recommendations. Now this is an actual written testimonial. And here's the tricky part. The person actually has to go to your LinkedIn profile and do the recommendation. So currently I have 3. And if any of you have worked with me in the past, I would love a recommendation. And I would do the same for you. So this is where you would go and you would just click this button. And since I know Christina, who's on the call right now, I'm going to click on this and I'm going to show you. I'm just going to type in her name. There she is. And we're going to select the relationship. We work together in the same group. Yeah, there we go. Select my position. Concierge Wellness. There we go. And now that automatically will show up in her inbox, and she's going to do the same for me. Brooke Branch is on the call. Hello, beautiful.
Hi, Suzanne. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Oh, it's so good to see you.
Yeah, you too. Good
Yay.
intro.
Okay. So you can do that with, I think it's up to 10 or 15 people at a time, but make sure the people that you're going to ask the recommendation, make sure they know it's coming and that it means something for them to take a little bit of time to fill that out for you. This can be really helpful if somebody is looking to hire you as the expert in your field. I guarantee you they're going to look down here at the recommendations. There's some accomplishments and any interest that you have. So that's the basic overview of the profile. Now I'm going to get into, I'm going to stop the screen share. Does anybody have any questions while I'm still on screen share? Just unmute yourself and ask. No?
Suzanne, I'm assuming you'll get to like the broader picture too, but I mean, I use Facebook a ton. I'm trying to get into Instagram, but I never really do anything on LinkedIn. I mean, my requests build up to like 20 or 30, and then I go in and get like go down the rabbit hole for, you know, but it's like once a year, and I say, oh my God, someone messaged me on LinkedIn a year ago, and I mean, it's usually personal, but I know that you've used it in creative ways in the past. So are you going to talk about that too?
Yes, I'm going to dive into my top 4 things I wrote down not to do on LinkedIn. So what it is not for, and really what you want to be using it for. So first, what LinkedIn is a professional network. It is not social media. It's a place for news. It's a place for jobs. It's a place to position yourself as the expert in your field. And here's some of the top recommendations from Brenda Bernstein. She is the author of a book called How to Write a Killer LinkedIn Profile. And she updates that ebook once a year to reflect all new screenshotted pictures in the book of how to do things, because LinkedIn's always changing, just like Facebook, and she keeps that really updated and pretty much every LinkedIn expert out there is either learning from her or one other person. And I like her style better because she actually updates her pictures every year. So it keeps you totally updated. She has a great presence on LinkedIn. So if you want to follow her, she has an awesome blog all about why to connect on LinkedIn. I've learned so much just with the content that she gives out for free.
I'm sorry, what's her name
Her
again?
last name again?
Yeah, Brenda Bernstein, Bernstein. So you can follow her right on LinkedIn and check out her blog. She posts almost every day some kind of article on LinkedIn. So she talks a lot about posting articles versus posting. And I'm going to go into why to do that. And then I'm going to give my don'ts on LinkedIn. So here we are on the home page. So if I was going to make a post like this person did right here, posted a picture, I would click right here, start a post. But I don't want to do that. I want to be positioned as an expert on LinkedIn. Now, do I share a post once in a while if I have an event coming up or whatever? Yes. But the magic on LinkedIn lies in this button right here, write an article. When you click on write an article, a new browser window will open. You get to add a picture, a headline, a complete blog-like post with links and pictures. And I always put at the very bottom my bio, and I'll show you. I upload this picture at the bottom of every blog post. Well, I do that one sometimes, but let me get this one. So at the bottom of every blog post, I have my email signature. So I don't have to add in any extra links or anything. My picture is here, my phone number is here, my email's here, and I can actually add a description with a link to my website. So somebody reads this article, they see a pretty picture up here that can be anything I want, a snappy headline, and this picture at the bottom, which links directly to my website. So there is nothing on Facebook that can give you that. And here's the extra added bonus. When you publish an article right here versus a post, any article that gets published on LinkedIn, ready, get ready for it, gets shown to every one of the people in your network if they go on LinkedIn that day and scroll your feed. That is something that is impossible on Facebook. So writing an article on LinkedIn is much more powerful because if you have a giant network on LinkedIn, that giant network, if they go on to their homepage and they go like this and start scrolling and you posted an article, most likely they're gonna see it. And here's somebody in my network that posted a link to someone else's article. But look, as I'm scrolling, there's not many people posting articles on LinkedIn. It's still not commonplace. But by doing it, you're taking advantage of the algorithm of LinkedIn. And even better, there is an app called LinkedIn Pulse. And LinkedIn Pulse app is only the articles that are published on LinkedIn. So download that app and check it out. And the articles are available in that app based on what category you pick. And it's really, really just another way of people finding you. All right, let's go into the don'ts on LinkedIn. So after your do's are ask for recommendations, post articles, right? We don't want to just do posts. We want to post articles and link back to your website. For somebody like Brooke, who works for doTERRA, so she has a replicated website, which is a little difficult. When you work for a network marketing company, you can't track how many people are landing on that replicated website. But here's what you can do. You can track how many people look at an article on LinkedIn, and if your link to your replicated website is in that article, oh, check out my special on lavender oil, link, and they're headed to your website. So you can track, well, I got 40 people that looked at my article. I must have gotten some traffic to my website today. So it's just another way to kind of add in, like, how many people are actually seeing my stuff and get your website out there a little bit more. All right, so here's the big no-nos. If you're going to give a recommendation for somebody, make sure it's somebody that you've actually talked to, met, connected with, or worked with, so you can add that personal touch. Post articles, original articles only. Don't repost from your website. Don't repost from Facebook. Original material. Don't get spammy on LinkedIn. LinkedIn keeps track of how many people you message every day and how many people you connect with. So don't send more than 50 connection requests in any given day, and don't message more than 100 people a day, or you will get flagged. Not that that means anything if you're doing it all manually, but if you're using an automated system, keep it at those numbers. And remember, nothing too personal. Don't send invites without a note about why you want to connect with that person. On your desktop version, so something the phone does not have is sending that note. So if you're connecting with people from the app on your phone, you have to hit the more button and then add a note. So you have to hit the more button so that the options come up to add a note. And nothing personal. Oh, and you know, a little bit of effort with the creative aspect of the note to connect with them is really helpful. And oh yes, locatability. How are people going to find you? How closely connected are you to the people in your network? So I have a ton of connections on LinkedIn, and I'd say about half of them are on my email list. And that's because I've been working this list for a long time to kind of message them, connect with them, then invite them to a freebie, invite them to sign up for my newsletter, invite them to my Facebook group. And it all depends what the person does for a living, where I invite them, if that makes sense. And we can go into that in a little bit more detail if you'd like. Now I'm going to just show you why LinkedIn is really where you want to be as far as searching for your ideal clients. Who wants to be an example for me tonight? Brooke will be an example.
Sure.
Okay. Who's your ideal client? Who are you looking for?
Moms who are into finding natural solutions for their kids, for their home, non-toxic, solutions like personal care products and natural medicine and things like that, but also moms with kids that have special needs as well, since I do, since my kids have some special needs, and I've used the oils for them too. So I feel like that's my smaller niche within the bigger one, because a lot of people have moms as their niche. But I'm trying. I haven't really gotten that smaller one yet. More, it's just moms. Period.
Well, most likely they're not on LinkedIn, so maybe that's not an ideal platform
that's
for
what
you.
I was wondering.
But let's just say wellness coaches, would they be a good team member for you?
Builders. I just signed on a chiropractor and a holistic wellness coach last week. So I'm starting to, because doTERRA is now in hospitals, cancer research centers. Now we have more clout when it comes to wellness professionals. And medical professionals. So
okay, well,
that's
chiropractors are one of my searches that I routinely do, so I'm pretty familiar with that one. So let's do nurses.
Okay.
So that's a pretty general, like just nurse is pretty general.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do maybe pediatric nurse.
Okay.
Let's try that one.
Or doula, or there's a lot of different.
Okay, so just people, pediatric nurse, 200,451 results.
I would be pretty busy reaching out.
Pretty busy, right? So now let's take it down to second connections of mine. We're going to apply that. So 10,000 are connected in some way to one of my connections. Pretty cool. Most likely your second connection would, if you have people in common, they would accept a request from you.
So second connection is like friend of a friend, basically. I mean,
yes.
Same friend, but like second degree of separation.
Mm-hmm. And then you're going to go here to location, and maybe you would click Greater New York area.
Mm-hmm.
And I would click Greater Philadelphia. So we'll click both of those and hit apply. All right, now we're down to 2,400 results. That's still a lot of nurses, right?
Uh-huh.
We could go here to companies, and we could do, let's just get the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia nurses and home health care nurses. All right, that's much better. 231 people. So now you could strategically look through these and connect with the ones who have a picture and a filled out platform. Like, so this one without a picture, she's probably not very active on LinkedIn. And what you want to do, if you hit connect, you would connect and add a note. I'm expanding my network of nursing professionals interested in non-toxic living. I would love to add you to my network. And you customize that for whatever person you're looking to connect with. When we go to her profile, we could get a sense, is she even active on here? All right, it looks like she has a current job. She's a professor at Thomas Jefferson University. Might be a good contact.
Mm-hmm.
And so you connect and you wait for a response. Or if you're interested in maybe doing a corporate training at the hospital, and say she was in charge of training and education, you would click on this contact info, and look, she doesn't have any contact info because you're not connected. So once you're connected, you'll be able to see her email, phone number, and contact information. So that's the reason to connect with people, so that you can actually connect with them further.
Okay. Never thought of this is like a whole new world.
Yes. Yes. And I'll show you. So I'm going to go to my network, and I'm going to show you what I'm working on right now. So out of my network, I'm connected to, I want just my first connections. So I'm connected to about 160 chiropractors. So right now I'm doing strategic outreach to these chiropractors in the greater Philadelphia, New Jersey, maybe some Maryland, Delaware chiropractors. And I am actually going to their profile, going to the contact info, visiting the website, which is all just click, click, click. And now I'm on this doctor's website. I basically give a little view of his office, like he's right up my alley. He's into wellness. He does nutritional supplements and counseling. He'd be the perfect candidate for my corporate wellness program. And I'm going to click on this button, go to contact us, and email the office. So emailing the office from their website is much more effective than emailing from here. But if you notice, this email is his personal email. It's not the office email. So I'm going to do both. I'm going to email both. I'm going to put it in my system to follow up with. And if I haven't heard anything back in a week, I'm going to call the office to see if I can give him a demo of my corporate wellness idea. Now, it sounds like a lot, but when you're dealing with, a new team, potential for a new team member, or a corporate wellness gig, or if you're looking for maybe HR people, I'm going to stop the screen share. If you're looking for maybe HR people because you want to do corporate trainings, you can see how investing just a little bit of that research time can really yield really big results. I do recommend using some sort of system to keep track of everybody you're reaching out to. I'm playing with 2 different ways of doing that. And then LinkedIn does have their own way of doing that. It's called LinkedIn Sales Navigator, but it costs $79 a month. So until you're really ready to invest in that, there's free ways to keep track of it. Just, you could make an Excel spreadsheet and keep track of the people that you reach out to. I had one other thing to show you. If anybody is interested in being a premium member on LinkedIn, if you do that, it's $59 a month, and you get all LinkedIn's training and stuff. But here, I'm testing it out. This is just my 2nd month of being a premium member. And what it allows you to do is turn on something called ProFinder. So ProFinder is a search engine that recruiters and corporations use when they are looking for a corporate trainer, a workshop provider, an executive coach, somebody to come into their company. They use ProFinder to search those keywords I talked about, And if you're a member of that pro-finding network, your profile would come up and people would reach out to you. Now, I have not tested it. I have just learned about it, and I'm just implementing it this month. So I'll definitely update you guys and keep you posted on how that's working for me in the corporate space. But for many of us, what we do, whether it's network marketing, whether it's health coaching, whether it's regular coaching, or whether you have a product to sell, sometimes getting in touch with a corporate audience is exactly what your company needs. I mean, imagine if a corporation reaches out to you and says, Brooke, I want you to come and do a talk on essential oils and non-toxic living to 500 of our employees.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you can't sell doTERRA when you're there, but you can sell Brooke, and she's the expert on teaching this stuff.
Right. Wow. Okay.
Okay. All right, guys. The only other thing I wanted to say was that being active on LinkedIn is your final mission. So activity trumps everything else. So like the people's stuff in your network, follow the people that you feel as though are influential, whether it's Oprah or Richard Branson or any other business owner. Follow the companies that you represent and like their stuff on LinkedIn. Add lots of media to your profile. I'm adding 4 more things this week because of this training that I most recently did. Adding that PowerPoint, adding that downloadable resource for people to get a sense of who you are and what you do. And as always, I am going to stress, it's not just about the number of connections you have. It's about connecting with people in a real, authentic way, getting them off LinkedIn and onto the phone, get them on your schedule, on your email list, so you can build a real relationship with them. And if you're traveling to a different town, if you're going away on vacation, look up your LinkedIn connections that live in that town and send them a message, maybe a coffee date. I've had a couple coffee dates, and I had one connection on LinkedIn who ended up being the owner of the software company I use for our corporate wellness program, and he ended up being a mentor to me. And I talked to him on the phone once a month because he was a LinkedIn connection, and he sent me a message about his software, and we messaged back and forth and then emails, and it turned into a real life relationship that was good for my business and good for his. So I have an awesome checklist for you guys of all the things we talked about tonight, and you can just go through your profile and check and check and check. And then I also put together some tools and some resources for you guys. So it's 2 PDFs you're going to receive via email. So it looks like, if you didn't put your email in the chat, go ahead and do that now if you want those 2 resources from me. And all right, I see some questions. Janica says, might be jumping ahead. I have a profile, but haven't updated it in 2 years. Business has shifted, and I'm also now a real estate investor and have been helped. No, just update it. You don't want to start completely over. They won't let you do that. So update it. Update it. Leave all that past history on there and just update everything that you have now. So if it's been 2 years, LinkedIn has changed a lot. There's going to be a lot of blank spaces to fill in. When you say don't repost from Facebook, do you mean the actual post or reusing the same content? Oh, so you can reuse content if you mix it up a little bit. But unfortunately, when you use, say I make a blog post and say I take a paragraph of that blog post and use it as a Facebook post, and I do that all the time. But if you do that across Facebook and LinkedIn and maybe Pinterest or, you know, maybe Instagram, Google is picking up LinkedIn and Facebook and your blog. So that means it's reading, it could read 3 pieces of content that are exactly the same. Now, the odds of this are rare, but every time I ask that same question, I am told the same thing. Make sure the content is a little bit different so Google does not negate the content. So if Google picks up something that's an exact match for something else you've posted or something else somebody else has posted, it will basically say, okay, who posted that first? Oh, that blog from 1979? Okay, we'll get rid of Suzanne's from, you know, 2019. So it's whoever posted it first gets rights. And if you post it all in the same day, Google's not going to show it to anybody. So just mix up the content a little bit. You could just mix up the sentences, or if you're going to post on Facebook, use the first paragraph of your blog. And if you're going to post on LinkedIn, use 3 paragraphs. So it's a little bit more. Mix up the sentences a little bit. Just make it slightly different and use different hashtags for each platform. All right, I'm copying everybody's email address. Awesome. All right, guys. Who's got any questions for me? I know it was a ton of information at one time.
No, I'm just thinking that I'm doing something called Diamond Club in the spring, where I'm traveling to different areas and where I have friends, and they're going to host classes for me and get things going so I can kind of build my network in Vancouver and Brazil, different places. So I'm thinking that this would be good to not just have my friends be there, but hey, I'm traveling to Vancouver in February. Are you open to hosting something at your chiropractic office or whatever? So I can fill up my time even more there.
Absolutely.
This is great.
Absolutely. So you could just search, you know, that exactly where you're going to be. Mm-hmm. Search chiropractors, check out their websites, see if they're into wellness. If they're not, then you don't reach out. But for that, I would call the office directly. Don't even mess around with messaging. Get on their website, contact, email first, and then call the office the same day. Hey, I'm just following up on my email. I am a nationally recognized expert with doTERRA, and I am going to be traveling in your area, and I wanted to stop by your office and do a pop-up class. Is that something you'd be interested in?
Wow, nationally recognized expert. That sounds so official.
Well, do you have connections all over the nation?
I do.
I know. So you're nationally recognized expert.
By all my friends.
Yes. Yes.
Recognized expert. I like the pop-up makes it sound like, oh, it's no big deal, you know.
Yes.
To teach about, you know, the therapeutic benefits of essential oils.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, this is exciting.
Yay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else have any questions? What, Brooke?
I said I thought my to-do list was already long, and now.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry. I always add to people's to-do list.
That's your job.
How do you think mine look? Just saying. Anybody else have any questions?
Suzanne, I don't have a question, but I just want to thank you so much. This has been amazing information, and I owe you an apology. I had a work webinar going on top of yours in the beginning.
Oh,
So
no big deal. We're casual around here. I'm not,
yeah.
I did record tonight just
Oh,
for
good.
one of my private mastermind people who couldn't get on tonight. She wasn't feeling well. But normally I don't record these pop-up trainings. You know, it's just if you're here,
Right.
you're live, you benefit from it. And if you're not in my Facebook group, if you're not connected with me on Facebook, just you want a link to my group, I can, well, let me put it here in the comments.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think I am. But
I have a new, I kind of got rid of all of my Facebook groups except one, and I kind of do life and business training and a different topic every week. It's really fun. And it's a small group, so lots of great community in the group, and I do virtual networking as well once a month. All right, I'm posting the link to that. There's that, and you guys are all set. And after you get your 2 PDFs, if you have any questions on any of that material, the one with all the resources, there's got to be 25 different resources in there to maximize what you're doing, and you won't need them all. Take what you need, and if you have questions, just send me a private message. I'll put my email address in the comments as well. .com, not com. And have a great night, everyone. Thanks for jumping on, and my pleasure. I'm super passionate about the results that I'm getting on LinkedIn, and 3 or 4 of my clients, I'm getting on there connecting with corporate consulting and education connections, and it's been really powerful. So I've seen the power of what it can do. So see if it works for you, and even if it doesn't work for you to connect with clients or customers, you can use it to search people directly in your area and then connect with those people on Facebook if that's where they're hanging out. Okay?
Wonderful. Thank you, Suzanne.
You're welcome. Have a great night, everyone. You're welcome.
Yeah.
all right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.